Sorry, I'm still just finishing up, getting settled here. I kind of didn't plan on going live, at least not until later, but with, I kind of got an afternoon plan, so I didn't know what time I'd be done, if I'd feel up to it later, so I figured now is better than, better to do it now while I have the energy. So how's everyone doing? God damn it. It's smaller. There you go. Okay. Now I'm over at the chat. Hey, Goran. Lisa, Shaylin. Y'all Nana's not drunk. Hey, Claire. Hey, Jennifer. Brighter Day, Jen. And hey, Yoo-hoo Shoo-Shoo. Dirty Uncle Sal, what's up? And Quiz, Diane, totally clueless. Great time for you, yay. Maki Media, what's up? Hey, Lola. Tammy. Mystic Pixie, is that it? Yeah. Darlene Cox. My eyesight's actually really good today. I don't know why. Not complaining. Wow. My camera's all fuzzy, though. Oh, you're in the UK, huh? Well, oh, yeah, when I go live, it's probably like middle of the night there for you, usually. So good, yay. Bootylicious, Claire. Hey, hands off there, dirty Uncle Sam. No, I'm kidding. Hey, wait, did I say Poodlerific? I don't think I said you yet, but hey, Poodlerific. Who cares? I'll say it twice. Witchy Woman, feel the love. All right, so yeah, I haven't really kept all up to, I guess, date or whatever. I haven't been all caught up on all things Katie Joy as of lately because just I had other things going on and I've been working so much. But yesterday though, I had to work yesterday, but today I have a day off. So I came home last night and I started catching up on things Katie Joy. I actually got out a little bit early, so it was nice. I actually had some free time for once. It's funny because I have a video. I just have to proof watch it and then I'm going to make it public. But it's my response to the shit from what's his face there, BX. In the beginning, though, I'm just like, I don't know where all my time goes. I feel like I should have enough time. I feel like I'm doing something every minute of the day, but nothing's done. I look around here, nothing's done. I've been up since 7:30 nonstop, but nothing's fucking done. What the hell? What's going on here? Drives me nuts. But anyways, enough about my problems. Why is this not coming in right? Does my screen look all fuzzy to you? I'm going to refresh it. Maybe it's that. Nope. It's still fuzzy. My usual time for UK is 3-4 a.m. Yeah, sorry. Let the bear have her fun. All right. I still look funny, but all right, whatever. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just the way it's coming in on my camera. So I can live with that. I don't have a choice either way, but okay. So Katie Joy. Now I've been checking out her Instagram last night and today, and I haven't watched all of these lives that she has up there. So I thought we'd go over them real quick today. I have a couple hours to do this, but I have to be somewhere by like 4:30. So it's 2:30 now, so we got time. So yeah, if you guys want, I thought we'd go over live and go over some of these posts. I haven't seen any of her posts from today. I've seen her posts up till last night, I think. Let me go back here. I seen her post up till report trafficking. Did I see this one? No, I didn't see this one. All right, so yeah, up until report trafficking. I haven't seen any of her other posts. But yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I guess we're going to see it now today, watching her lives, that she, it was her chat in one of her lives that told her that Miranda was in Michigan visiting her parents. She's like, no, I think you mean, I forget the name, Melanie. I think you mean Melanie. It's like, no, it's Miranda. No, I think you mean Melanie. And she had to sign off. Did you see Miranda's post? Which one? Which one is she? Is she Wilking Sisters too or whatever? Again, okay. Can you guys settle something in my head here once and for all because I cannot keep this straight? Is it Wilking Sisters or Wilkings Sisters? Does anyone know? Because like even on their Instagram, I don't know if they're pluralizing the Wilkings or if if the last name is Wilkings. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. I do the same, lost in time. I'm always following. Yeah, exactly. It's just I don't have time. I don't know where it all goes. She did. She shut up the Insta real quick. I seen just like a little snippet of it over on Twitter. It's Wilking. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all Nana's not drunk. Okay. Let me go back here. Let me pull up. Do this. Now Miranda, I think, is Wilking sisters too, right? Well, I'll find out one way or the other. I don't have Wilking sisters too on here. Why don't I? Oh, that's right. I think I looked her up on my other account. Okay, no results found. Okay, so where would I find Miranda's page? Or whatever. What's the name of her page? All right. All right, so if someone knows like the name of Miranda's page or whatever, let me know and I'll pull it up. But for now, I'm just going to go to, I have Wilking sisters here, but, oh no, wait, maybe, no, that's not it. So they have 69K followers. Yeah, no, this is, I think, Melanie's. There's a free Miranda. What the fuck? Jesus. Okay, so let me share the screen here. Let's go over the lives. Some more disturbing info, I think, was the first one. The sound's not on it. I'm going to turn on just a second. I want to see something first. I'll make sure I have the right one. More detail. Okay, yep. Wait, no, the wrong one. It's this one. Okay. Okay.
I'm not going to put any. Hey, friends.
Okay, now I can hear it.
I don't have a ton of time. I've done I did a post earlier today, and I am going to sort of tell you where I'm at with my research. And
someone in chat here says, let me see. Teresa Ben says, EKC people suck. On Tuesday, Juicy Snoop podcast, Heather McDonald mentions WOACB and breaking the story. I have no idea who that is. I mean, is it like a big popular podcast or something? Is she? Are they like I don't know? Are they one of a notable name or whatever in reporting? I don't even know, hot topics or whatever. I have no idea who that is. So. Yeah, see, here's the thing with Katie. Okay, now I was talking with Tina yesterday, and it just, every once in a while, do you ever just kind of stand back and you just look at a thing overall, and you're just, the profoundness of it just smacks you like right dead in the face. that was my moment yesterday. And I'm just like, here, this is crazy. She has taken it upon herself to determine a group of people who for whatever reasons conjugate, support each other, whatever, live their lives with each other. She has determined this group to be bad, evil, dangerous, not worthy of existing. And she has deemed them like punishable by breakup. She is asserting her will. I mean, I don't even want to say morality because she's not basing this on morals. This is her will. This is just her will. This is her desire, her wants, her beliefs, her thoughts. And she's pretty much, or no, not, she isn't pretty much, she has just roped up an entire mob of people to take on her judgment of this group and to lash out at them online. And hopefully it stays online. Not that that's acceptable, but I think it's a little bit safer than going real life. So hopefully it just stays online. But we all know that that's not likely to happen if this continues. It's not likely to stay just online. So she is going to affect the lives of all the people in this cult, their family, their loved ones, even possibly even an entire industry, by determining that they're not worthy of existence. And what is she basing this? Like what guidelines is she applying to this for her to come to this decision? We don't even know. Like she doesn't even know because they change every day. It's like moving goalposts with her. So this is crazy. No one should be able to do this. I mean, we have like a court of law and everything for a reason. We have regulations, we have guidelines, we have requirements to be met. But not Katie Joy. Katie Joy can just do whatever the fuck she wants, regardless of who it hurts, regardless of what lives it ruins or destroys or just messes with. I mean, how are more people not like just holy shit about this? This is crazy. I mean, sure, people can maybe argue, well, this is a cult or whatever. They don't deserve to exist. Well, okay, well, where are you getting your information? Where are any of us getting our information about this group from? It's all from Katie Joy. So Katie Joy is the one determining whether or not it's a cult and sharing that info. I don't trust that info. Do you? And regardless, let's say that there are some things that she's reported about the group that are in truth. Well, the guidelines in which she is placing on this group today will very well change in the future. So how long is it before she comes across your religious organization or your otherwise group in society that she decides to, you know what? I don't think that this is worthy. I don't think that this is benefiting the society I want to live in. Therefore, I don't think you can exist any longer. Therefore, I'm going to actively work to tear your group apart because that will happen. There will be groups where today are acceptable, tomorrow are not. This is why no one person is entrusted with these kinds of powerful decisions because power corrupts absolutely. So this is my whole point. This is what just got me thinking when I was catching up and everything last night and today. I'm just like, what the fuck? This is crazy. Anyway, I haven't even been looking at the chat. Sorry. All right, back to this.
And what's happening right now. So I'm going to turn comments off while I share. I just don't want to get distracted. Not because I don't appreciate you. So I shared some information about sort of the living situation for the dancers. And specifically, I will not be answering questions about where they live, what houses they live in, or their addresses. It's extremely important that we protect them right now. And I don't want anyone showing up at their houses or anything like that. Like, I don't want to put anyone at risk right now. This is not a safe group that we're working with. Okay. So just be very mindful of that. And then when it comes to like how they're living and where they're living, all I know is that the areas that they're living are not the best areas. That's all I know. That's not to say that they don't have like decent size homes, but the homes that they're living in are not mansions at all. And they all live in groups. And this is pretty consistent with how Robert has run his church in the past. So another thing that I was going to answer questions about was like, how do I know this information? So I am now working with a team, but I am not going to be disclosing like who.
One second. I want to just share this real quick. Thank you, Lisa, for sending me the Instagram link there. I want to just play Miranda's post from, I think it was from yesterday. Was it yesterday? I don't know. I'll find out in a second. It's just real quick. I think it's going to make watching Katie's videos just much more, I don't know, telling. To watch this one first. That's all. So here it is. This is from, is it yesterday? Let's see here. 18 hours ago. So yes, yesterday. Here she says, statement from Miranda. Here is the full live video from today showing meeting my parents in Michigan. I just wanted to show that we are genuinely meeting with my family and it is not a green screen. My dad and my mom were with me documenting it since some people are into conspiracy theories and doubting the authenticity of everything. Do I look mad? Yes, because I am. People I love, my friends and husband and I are literally being stalked, lied about, harassed, and used for strangers' social media gain in the name of concern. It's putting it really well. All of these dancers who claim that we are former best friends have never hung out with once, hopping on IG lives to comment on my life for views and clickbait. Not that it's anyone's business, but my parents and I had a 3-hour conversation today about our private family issues, and I'm going to leave that there unless I'm forced to talk about it. To those who have supported us through this, thank you, and I see you. Our passion is to spread positivity and joy through our pages, but this Wilking Sisters 2 page is a place for me and my friends to address any lies being said regarding the situation. I hope my family and I can soon move on and heal. As for Katie Joy and her gross cult-like followers, just leave my family alone. We don't need your help and input. You don't care about us. Word. That's so true. All right.
We are live. We're in Detroit, Michigan. This is my husband, James. This is my mom, Kelly, and my dad, Dean. Since they wanted to make our lives public, we're going to go live. Do you guys have anything to say to the live stream?
I love you, Miranda, and I miss you.
Yeah, love you. We're excited to see you in person. Okay. More details to come. But yeah, we're going to have a family meeting. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. We are...
I don't know, man. She's so much more cooler than I think I would be in that situation. Like, I get it. You don't want to lash out and say and do shit that you're going to regret, but I commend her for her self-control because I have a feeling she wants to say a whole hell of a lot more. I'm just saying. This is interesting. All right. So I'm going to go back to playing the Instagram Live. She said this video was a distraction. See, now this is what I'm saying. I think watching these two, the Instagram's live she did before the video, and like when she found out, like I just feel like knowing Miranda's statement is going to make watching these lives so much more revealing. I could be wrong, but because let's find out.
Situation where this is a very tough situation because we want to be able to expose what's happening, but we don't want to put anyone at risk. So I am trying very hard not to give away too much, if that makes sense. Everything will be presented in a way where it's like you will understand it, but at this point, yeah, the safety of the dancers is like the paramount, but it's also the safety of you, just to not get involved in something where you're getting yourself involved with. You might be trying to go find them or whatever, just like it's not a safe situation. Anytime you're dealing with a group like this that has the kind of resources in which they do, they can do things that are very dangerous. So those are just sort of like caveats there. When it comes to like whether or not they're in a cult, they're in a cult. When it comes to, well, why do some family members speak to the dancers and other family members don't. First and foremost, when we're looking at this situation, you have to remember that in nearly every group that has a cult-like dynamic, leaders will designate like who's safe and who's not safe, and who's demonic and who's not demonic. And if a family is not going to rock the boat and they're willing to go along with it, and they're not going to ask questions, and they're just going to sort of like be either complicit because they don't care, or they maybe don't have a super close relationship with their loved one anyway, or they're benefiting from it because of the financial aspect, that I don't know. But I will say this: it's not just Miranda who's had her family cut off, and it's not just family that's being cut off, it's friends and, you know, it's extended relatives. It's not just one person that this is happening to. And I can't express to you enough that this is not something that's brand new for Robert. He has done this before. He had a group that split in 2008 that had 70 members, and the allegations back then were very similar. And I just found a sworn deposition.
Okay. All right. Not for nothing. If this is something he's done before and he had a group of 70 people and then the group split, I would say he sucks at it, okay? Because he doesn't even seem to be that successful with it this time if this is his intention of forming a cult. I mean, what are there, like 11 members right now or something in this dance group? Some shit like that? I mean, if she's such a cult expert, why is she wasting her time on the little guys is what I'm wondering. Oh, hey, we have a guest joining us. As soon as my mouse cursor stops going around in a rainbow circle and I can click on them and add them. So it's going to take a second. Just sorry. I don't know why my computer's running slow. I restarted it and everything before this. And it's still doing it. The fuck? Oh. There we go. Hey.
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 So I'm trying this with my earbuds, or is that what they're called?
What, the wireless ones, you mean?
Yeah. I've never used them before, so I don't know. I usually have my little kitty headphones.
I call them ear pods unless they're Apple ones, then they're AirPods.
These are Apple.
Well, then AirPods, yeah.
There you go. Hi, everybody. So I'm just sitting here like, I saw that video from Miranda yesterday, and then I saw Katie's post that it's not about her. And so what I did is I went back to the beginning of the very first post she did about Miranda, and I counted almost 140 posts in 10 days. And Jesus most of them Christ. Have Miranda mentioned because, you know, she made the hashtag, whatever Miranda. So obviously it's about Miranda, right?
Right. Wait, hold that thought. My dog is now whining. So I'm going to sign out, but then sign back in on my tablet so I can continue talking while I take the dog out. Okay. So let me just do this. Wait, let me pull it up here first. I don't need to send myself the link, right? No, I don't. Okay, cool. So let me remove myself.
Totally Clueless. Yes. They are the ones that they spoke out. They did a video saying that, you know, she had left and they hadn't heard from her and yada yada. Okay. You're totally not good, Aaron. Hear me? Hello? Okay, y'all. Well, I guess she'll be back. Nobody knows Miranda and Miranda's family better than KJ does. Right.
How about now?
There you go. That's better.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. So yeah, let me just. I'm going to be just talking with you while I take her out. So I'm going to mute
I
though
think,
up so you hear noise.
Sarah, I don't know. We can figure that out. Like, I don't know how Katie. It's kind of like the Gabby Petito story. Like, all of a sudden, Katie will start posting about something, and then she just goes off the rails there. It's constant over and over and over. So I don't know how she finds stuff like this.
I've had I don't know, it may be a paranoid theory, it may be conspiracy theory, whatever, I don't know. But like I mentioned the other night in a stream about possibly working for like a PR company or some shit like that. I've kind of wondered too if like, I mean, there's got to be a lot of like management dance production groups or whatever out in LA, right? I mean, I almost wonder if this could be like a rivaling group or something that is looking to, I don't know, get ahead against the other groups. Because the way she's come at this group out of the blue over seeming what seems like nothing. I mean, what she's basing this whole cult theory on is very, very little information to contribute to that theory. I mean, even Katie's usually more sensible than that.
Well, what's funny is one of the biggest things that she went after and she made a huge deal of is that the pastor dude had filed bankruptcy. And I'm like, but didn't your husband file bankruptcy? Like, I mean, so because he filed bankruptcy and I went and looked to see like what happened. I think it was 2011. Now I could be completely wrong, so don't quote the number. But I went and looked to see what happened in that year, and it was literally the housing crash, right? So the person's a realtor, and I know realtors that file bankruptcy. Like I had them as clients. So it wasn't like it was just uh you know a person doing shady shit. It was like the United States as a whole
Right.
crashed, right? And many people, I lost one of my homes because of it. So I just don't get why she makes such a big deal about something. And the fact that her husband has filed bankruptcy, right? Didn't she admit that, or did he just lose a house? I don't know. And I think it
I
was
believe
during the same time.
I don't. I know the house was foreclosed upon. She said. I'm not sure how or why it happened though.
Okay, well, I think it was the same time. I'm not positive, but still, the point is that she makes these people sound like they're just such slime because they had a bankruptcy. But yeah, if you Google the year, it's going to tell you it was the housing crash. You know what I mean? 1.5 million filed bankruptcy at that time, and within a few years. That's what I figured out. But it's funny, she'll it's almost like she gets stuck on one thing because there's really nothing else to get stuck on, and she blows it up to it's like he murdered a child or something.
Right. I know. I hear it. And again, I'm not ignoring you. It's just I'm outside with the dog right now, and she starts barking. Other dogs start barking. I'm being polite and I'm hitting the mute button. So, but yeah, exactly. I mean, why she does this? She's done this with other things too. Like she's mentioned, like if someone's been arrested before, like, well, hello, weren't you arrested before? Or
She
was someone
admitted
else?
she
Yeah. And
I just
another
found
thing,
the video where she admitted she was arrested.
right? And another thing, she actually legit brought up someone's DWI. Like, are you kidding me? Like
Right. Like, but her new subs don't know about this stuff about her, right? Like they don't know. She's trying to be professional, Katie, right now.
oh,
So
another thing I want to say, like, I don't know who the hell this team is allegedly that she has, but if any of them hear this, wait, damn it, I'll finish that thought inside because she's gonna bark. I will be back though in about 1 minute. Let me just walk around the house real quick and then get her inside.
Dash X says it's funny how she also will always say, I'm not a bad person. I pay my taxes.
I know
Yeah.
we're in taxes. Holy
It,
shit.
you know what's funny is she said that so many times. I wonder if she's ever been in trouble for not paying her taxes. Like, you know what I mean? Like she uses that so much.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I pay my fucking taxes, right? I was self-employed just like she is. I pay my taxes. And here's the thing. I was a stylist. I couldn't write off my shoes, my clothes, my makeup, none of that stuff. So, you know, I don't know how she can.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a case of like, doth the lady protest too much? I pay my taxes. I pay my taxes. Well, that kind of tells me you don't or you didn't.
Right. Something.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just funny. Oh, somebody says, yeah, the way she was talking about people talking crap about her on social media and then saying, oh, well, as if she doesn't cuss people out online when she's, yeah, whatever. um, she's got to be the biggest hypocrite I've ever seen in my entire life. I've never seen anybody else like her. Never come encounter with anybody else like her. And you know, I've done thousands of people's hair. So, like, I've come in contact with thousands of people in an intimate situation, and I've never come in contact with somebody like her. I've never seen somebody that will do to people, go after people, do to people the things she claims to others do to her. And it's okay for her, but it's not okay for us. So if we criticize her, we're crazy stalkers and we're harassers and bullies and liars and all that. But if she goes after somebody like she's doing right now with Miranda, and she posts about them 140 times or 130 times in 10 days, and she does video after video after video talking about it and making these crazy claims. Yet, I mean, doesn't that seem a little hypocritical and and quite scary, if you will, in my opinion? You know what? I need to go let Dobby out really quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right, my headphones working. Are they working now? Oh, I can't tell. You're not talking. Okay, so I'm going to go back to sharing screen now. Sorry about that. I didn't expect my dog to have to go out again. And apparently nobody else wants to help me right now, so I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. Okay.
That he did in 2011 where
All right, so I'm going to pause this. I'm going to wait for Tina to get back. I find it interesting though, where she keeps calling it a cult and everything. I don't know if anyone here is familiar with the BITE model. It's a series of, like, I don't know, like, I guess, qualifications a group must meet in before it can be considered a cult. And it's based on it's broken up into 3 parts from what I remember. And each part gets graded. And if you reach a certain number or whatever, then it can be pretty much referred to as a cult. It's kind of detailed, and there's a lot that goes into it. It's not quite that simple, but I mean, it's a very good model to use. But the BITE method consists of, here, let me share this.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay. I just want to share this real quick. So keep this in mind as we listen to her talk, I think. So, all right. The BITE method consists of 4 major methods of control: behavioral control, information control, thought control, and emotional control. By exerting all 4 of these types of control, a cult can gain full power over a human being and essentially strip them of their free will. There is quite a bit of overlap between these 4 categories, as, for example, our behavior is often dictated in part by our thoughts and emotions. However, by controlling these 4 areas of someone's life, you can sever their ability to think for oneself. So, and by like behavior control, they may control like your clothing, your hairstyle, your sleep schedule, even what kind of food you eat. You know, information control is like they control where you get your news from, what sources you use, what media you watch, if any. You know, and then thought control. As members start to internalize the teachings of the cult and oppose them on themselves. A huge part of getting people to think in the way you is to stop them from thinking in contrary ways. In fact, cults often encourage, though not by name, thought-stopping techniques, meaning techniques that shut down the process of questioning. Activities like chanting, speaking in tongues, singing, humming, dancing, and praying become substitutes for questioning one's reality. And then, emotional control. In a similar way to how cults teach that certain thoughts are bad, they also teach their members that they must do away with certain emotions. Emotions like restlessness, doubt, homesickness, or anger can cause cult members to dissent. And so cults do everything in their power to eliminate those emotions in their members, just getting you to instinctively act on tenets rather than how you feel. So, I mean, these are very important things to, I think, consider when addressing if a group of people are a cult. And she doesn't apply any of this to any of her conclusions here.
Well, and really, we could apply this to her, right?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
so somebody made a comment, said, yet again, she's claiming these people are victims of a cult and also victimizing them by talking crap about them and releasing personal information.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm baffled.
Yeah, and she says here in the beginning of this video, she already said it, but she's not going to be sharing anything like where their houses are, no addresses and stuff like that. But you already put this shit out there, pretty much.
Exactly.
Oh, you're such a noble, thoughtful person for not continuing to do what you've been doing.
Dude, she put pictures of the house. Okay, so here's the thing, right? So with me, with that damn redacted screenshot of the field, I have been like persecuted over it. But she posted pictures, the same type of picture with the house in the picture of people that strangers to her. She does not even know them. She has nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
Right? And even if there's been one or two people that have come forward about this person and made claims, listen, if you think about the industry they're in, can you imagine? I mean, we know the lengths Katie will go to silence her critics, right? Like we know that. Right, so can you imagine in the industry they're in, which, you know, they're on the Ellen show, they're on like the basketball, I don't know what team, but like they're doing big things. So realistically, if you flip it, if somebody is mad because maybe, you know, they're not included in that, then they could make up any story, right? Yeah. Katie's jumped on it. Like, here's what a normal reporter would do. A normal reporter would do their due diligence and get all their stuff together before they even report on it.
Would verify, would corroborate stories, would also check with experts to determine if these theories or whatever could be correct.
Right.
I mean, she's done none of this.
No,
she's got other stories, but that's it. But she hasn't verified or corroborated any of them.
Right. She saw a video on TikTok or wherever she saw it, and she ran with it. From there, ran with it. Just, you know, started looking into people and looking into their background and realized they changed their name. People change their name all the time. But the thing is that she didn't do her due diligence. She just ran with it, as she typically does. She did the same thing with Sophie.
And
you know what I mean?
I want to add too about the name change. They changed their name the correct way. Okay. Like you can, what I mean by correct way is the same way you can apply for a new social security number. The thing is that the government itself can backtrace it to your original. That's the correct way. An incorrect way for a name change, for example, would be to steal someone's identity and assume it as your own. That would be incorrect. But she speaks of what they did as if they did it the incorrect way, but they did it the correct way.
Right. So she's making, and it seems that she keeps sharing the same stuff over and over again. right? Like it's kind of like the Duggars, and you know, they got canceled, so they're not on the show. Like there's nothing to talk about them right now, nothing.
Right.
But she'll sit there for hours and hours talking about the same stuff over and over and over again, maybe using different verbiage or maybe in a different way, but it's like she's what is that when they recycle, she's recycling the same
Yeah.
thing
hmm
and trying to keep it going. That's what she's doing right now.
See, and yeah, and with the size that she is, like it up until this point, she's pretty much latched onto stories that were already established, and she's made her a profit or made her name off of that. But now, though, she's getting so big to the point that she can just pull any story she wants and turn it into that. And that's what she's doing here with this one. This wasn't an already established story. She's establishing the story.
Right.
And she should, I mean, I'm not trying to pass judgment here. I mean, she shouldn't, I don't care if she has her platform or whatever, but her power, since she's taking on no responsibility for the things that she has at her disposal, then the things that she has at her disposal should be limited in how far she can go with them. I mean,
So-
she should not have the power to basically do this.
Dude, she's destroying them. Like
Yeah.
she's taking away their income. She's seriously causing harm to them. And in the claim of, you know, they're victims. Well, now they're victims of her, right?
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
I guarantee people don't go after cults in this way typically because it would cause so much harm.
Mhm.
But what's Maya talking about? Maya Nova says, I like how Heather McDonald said she's going down too. KJ bragging about being talked about on the podcast.
Oh yeah,
Any idea?
someone mentioned earlier in the chat here that some podcast or whatever.
She's a comedian. She's a known comedian and actress.
Heather McDonald.
And she commented on Katie's Instagram, and of course Katie bragged about it. But I don't know if she mentioned her today on the podcast. I don't know. Maya Nova messaged me and like clarify on Twitter.
Damn it. Fucking hell. Nothing wants to work.
Can you imagine though, if we did this to her, like if we did if we did a quarter of what she's doing to these people to her, we would have TROs against us. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ! Oh my God, are you kidding?
I've already been there.
That's funny. Oh God. Okay, so I found Heather McDonald.
Okay.
I'm pulling up her Instagram now. I'm curious how big she is. She's
Maya
a little
Nova's
big.
gonna post a clip on Twitter. I'll get it and send it to you in Messenger.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna mute.
Well, okay, all right. I'm gonna go back to the video, the live.
Donate to the church, but pay for him to have a lifestyle. So in a deposition and evidence that was provided to the court as a part of Lydia's lawsuit, there was, you know, dozens upon dozens upon dozens of checks that people were writing directly to Robert just because he was their pastor. So not on top, and that's on top of donating to the church. And he flat out admitted in the deposition to using donations of the church to financially profit in his like businesses. So instead of using money for the church, he was taking donations made to the church to buy businesses and properties that benefited him financially. So this is again not new for him. And he truly believes that this is what people should be doing, according to what he says on there. But reading his actual testimony and then like actually reading what he says, it's like, wow. So he has his church split in two factions. His sister took half the group with her and left him with half. And he had a lot of members. He had about 35 or 30 stay with him, and then the rest went with her. And he has not talked to his sister since.
I'm going to address this once and then I'm moving on. But Menace to Sobriety apparently thinks that Katie should be allowed to ruin the lives of people like this and face no consequence. and I'm not suggesting she face like harsh or any specific kind of consequence, but I think it should at least be acknowledged. Acknowledged is a good word. But Minister Sobriety says, people like EKC, Steve, and crew, this woman has been put through a lot of shit. She's had this nonstop effort on social media to come at her. I mean, it's disgusting. This is how tragedies happen. And I have a feeling that he's kind of trying to use my words against me here. But the thing is Katie has a very large platform. Other people who I've mentioned don't. They would be more or less considered private citizens, where she is considered a public figure. And other people are also not actively speaking out on strangers across the country to try and get a mob of people online to go after them and to try to cancel their income, their lives, their happiness, their professions. Okay. Katie routinely does this. So these are not at all comparable, but apparently I can, but thank you though for showing us where you are apparently coming from. You think that Katie should be able to do this without any consequences. Okay.
You know what's funny is I've had Menace to Sobriety and Uni Rock and all the other, uni whatever gang coming after me for 2 years. And I wasn't a YouTuber. They came after me for a year before I started my channel. And the only reason I ever started my channel was to be able to speak out against them coming at me and lying about me. What's the fucking difference? What a hypocrite Menace is.
Yeah, the difference is Katie chose this. Katie chooses this every day. She continues to do this as her quote unquote job. Okay.
Right.
Katie has the platform to enact real fucking damage to people's lives and has for quite a while. That's
right.
The huge difference.
Right.
And also too, I'm sorry. You can sit here and say that I'm causing her damage or whatever. But again, like I said, I wouldn't be going after her if she wasn't actively harming people online like this. I mean, how many of us would just forget all about her if she just reported like any other fucking vlogger does, just report on shit that happened factually?
CJ, you know nothing.
Okay.
I just want to say you're not going after her. All you're doing is criticizing her. That's it.
Yeah.
And that there's a difference.
I'm also
Katie and them go after people.
Yeah, I'm also not going on Twitter and arguing with anyone and everyone who shows any kind of support for Katie. In fact, I don't care who supports her. I don't even pay attention.
Right.
But anyway, it's enough. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I'm moving on from this shit. They're ridiculous.
Okay,
but it's good to know that they think Katie should be allowed to keep doing this. All right.
Right.
Gotcha. Oh, shoot. Damn it. Wrong button. Sorry. Okay, here we go.
In the deposition, because he described it as a hostile takeover. So I think like even then he was grouping people and having them live together, and he was controlling and dictating like every aspect of their lives. And there was questions in there about,
I'm reading this comment. Holy shit. So one of her supporters says, the best thing that can happen to these dancers is that the well dries up and they become worthless to this cult. They're super talented, so they'll recover, but under reputable management. Hopefully they will overcome this trauma and be able to help others that are vulnerable to this. See, this person has already deemed their chosen work company to be unacceptable, and she's now dictating that they should become worthless, no longer get paid for their services, and then only go work for a company that this user finds acceptable in order to make money. And I'm sure that they'll be just fine. She doesn't care about the risk that they probably won't be. I mean, there's a lot of competition out there. And then she's also pretty much mapped out her future for Miranda, saying hopefully they'll overcome the trauma and help others. Who the fuck are you to lay this shit on somebody else's life?
Right. Like,
this is crazy.
Like, why is it any of your business? Can you imagine caring so much about what strangers are doing, what decisions strangers are making in their life?
Especially
right?
Since Miranda's not hurting anyone with her decision. She's not actively having victims being created. She's just living her life. Crazy. All right.
Computers, and if they were actually spying on people. I mean, it's extensive. So this isn't just this is happening to Miranda, and so because Slavic's mom talks to him, it must not be true. Instead of focusing on what family members haven't been cut off, focus instead on the information coming out about the group. Is it normal for a manager to house all of their clients in pockets of 3, 4, 5, or 6 in homes owned by your management or your church, have them pay rent to you for living in places that you've given them to live, having them drive vehicles that are leased or provided by the church? Is it normal for them to ask you to pay them 20% on top of other fees in which they donate to the church? Is it normal for a manager to want to have full control and access to all of your emails, your social medias, controlling like every aspect of your lives? Is it normal for a manager to dictate who you can talk to and how you can spend your money? And then if the manager says you can't say that, you can't say that. If you want to buy something and they say no, they say no. Is it normal for while this is going on and the money is coming in that they're all living lavishly, but you're not? You have to consider the fact that Aubry has a platform of over 2 million followers, and he has been all over the media. He is easily, based on all the different contracts and the exposure he's had, should have easily been peaking more than $1 million, in a year. He's living in a house that's 2,000 square feet over an hour out.
Where is she getting her figures from? Like, how is she? This seems like a shitload of money. I don't know.
Outside of LA, in LA County still. And he's not living in an area where influencers that are trying to collab and work together and sort of have the high life live. He's not living in the kind of house that an influencer would want to live in if they were really making that kind of money. He has a Mercedes. He's driving a Mercedes. That's about it when it comes to him. So you have to sort of like look at the whole picture. You can't just look at like, well, Slavic's mom is talking to him, or Concrete said he talks to his mom. We don't know how the relationships have changed. We don't know what Slavic's parents are thinking. We don't know what their support systems were like before this. We don't know what their relationships were like before this. So not all family are going to like push back, and some might just like be doing as little as possible to keep those connections. But that's not to say that their lives are not controlled.
Yeah, I just want to say, when you hire, like, say you hire a life coach or something like that, or I don't know, whatever other professions are called along that lines, a management team, in this example, you pretty much hire them to manage your life, okay? Especially if what needs to be managed, what you're trying to make a lifestyle out of, is you. If you are the brand, then you have to effectively be managed. So that means who you talk to, what you say and do publicly, what you stand for, right down to probably even what you wear if you're some sort of influencer. If you're a dancer and you want to make it in this company or whatever, or in this profession, then I imagine who it is you work for matters, or what kind of production companies you work for matters. I'm sure that you could just you can get yourself typecasted, is what I'm trying to say. So you need to be managed if you want to have a specific certain kind of lifestyle professionally. Why is this so crazy to think that your life is going to be managed? I don't understand.
Okay. Having someone tell you what to wear, what music to dance to, how to act, what to say, all your posts are posted by them. Everything that you do is controlled by them. Every decision is made by them. That's not normal. So this isn't like, oh, poor Miranda. It's like all of the people that are involved in this are victims, and there is a huge net of people that have been doing this for 2 decades with Robert Shin. And so today someone asked me, like, well, why are you just focusing on Shin? Like, you're totally ignoring Daniel. You're ignoring all these other players. And the big picture is Robert Shin. without Robert Shin, this does not exist. Every other person that's beneath him is either, you know, part of his, if this was a mob, he's the godfather, okay? So think of it in that way. If we were an organized crime, he's the godfather, okay? And then all the people below him are his minions or his lynchmen or his whatever they do. Whatever
my
their
goodness.
job is directed by Robert, okay? And so they have.
She's talking about herself.
What do you mean? I mean,
She's talking about herself.
And what? Go on.
If this was the mob, she would be the godfather.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
All her crazy subscribers that go after people constantly would be her, you know.
Lynchmen, yep.
Right.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh yeah, no, there's no doubt. I mean, you can tell a lot about a person by the way they perceive the world. You know, like if they.
Well, and this is. Didn't she claim that Tottie's dad could have been in the mob or some shit?
Oh,
It always goes back. The stories always like end up the same, if you will. Why do you think that is?
But she said lynchman, didn't she? Wait, what's a lynchman? It's the same thing. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. They're the same thing, aren't they? Okay. If I said something wrong, I apologize. I never really these words.
Yeah.
They were never a part of my growing up or my life really. So.
I mean, who thinks about the mob?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
When they think about a church leader who could be a cult leader, why would you think about the mob? Why, you know? I mean, with Tottie's dad, that was referenced too. It's almost
exactly,
like
because she couldn't find the history. Therefore, it must all be like his whole life must have been like on the down low or whatever, because she couldn't find documentation of things.
Right. So she made this crazy story up in her head. She's recycling the news, you know, the same. It's like she needs new content, but she's recycling the old stuff that she used years ago.
Yeah, and I noticed too, like I don't want to typecast or whatever. It's like anti-vax techniques or whatever, because it's really conspiracy theory techniques or whenever you're trying to run propaganda, basically. But one of them is moving the goalposts, and that's what she's doing. She's been doing that all along. Like she's predicting things or saying what things mean or what they are, and this is why this is an important factor to consider. And then the next day, she's completely contradicted by what she said the previous day. So then it's, oh, well, no, and now, you know, this was predicted. This was going to happen because it's actually this. It's actually that. And she's done this like almost daily throughout this entire process with this story.
Did you see the clip of her talking about Miranda putting the gels on her fingernails? Katie was trying to like dog her out, talk shit about it and whatever. But then people in the chat were like, that's a thing. Like, that's what people are doing, you know, whatever. She had to like, you know, switch it up. She like, I didn't know that. You know what I mean? That's just a point of she doesn't do her due diligence before speaking. She wanted to try to make her look bad or crazy or whatever, right? And she only made herself look bad because she wasn't up with the times and what's going on TikTok.
It's funny. Okay.
Have to all be bought in. Does that mean that they're not also part of this criminal enterprise? Yeah, no, that doesn't. I mean, that means that they are. Yes. But they're not acting independently on their own. They're at the direction of Robert. So when you want to look at the whole cult, you go at the top. Who's the person that's giving the directions? And then you can kind of like going down and start looking at the tentacles, right? But right now you have to understand who's Robert, what's his deal, who is he directing, what is all this. That doesn't mean that we don't think that what Daniel's doing is wrong. But then we also recognize that at one point in time, Daniel was a victim of Robert, right? So, and his kids were victims of him as well. But the kids are also participating in it now because they are benefiting from it. And there appears to be a hierarchy in who Robert values in terms of what he believes is the most valuable for him, because not all of these people are living in the same kind of houses. You know, Isaiah has been able to live a much more lavish lifestyle than Daniel. Daniel and Chloe live in a relatively small home, and it's not in LA or near all of these areas where everyone else is living. It's nowhere near the size of the home that Robert's living in. He's got church members that are leaders living in where the church property is. And that church property is on 15 acres. It has multiple houses and an apartment building and a church. It has a ton of land, and it's clear that not everyone that's part of this church is treated equally into what they get for living. He's got Shirley Kim living on basically a rundown church property that's probably being renovated, but then he's got his son Isaiah living in mansions with him, who's an adult, by the way. So the homes that Robert doles out are not equal. You've got Daniel and Chloe living in a house that's maybe 1,600 square feet, while him and Isaiah are living in houses that have 6,000 to 10,000 square feet. It's just very different. So it's how the cults work, I guess. And so not all dancers are going to be treated different equally either. And some are living in bigger houses while others are living in smaller houses, but they're all living together. Like, none of them are living independently. None of them own any of the houses that they live in, and none of them are.
Correct me if am I muted? Let me check. Okay, no, I'm not. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Aren't the majority of these dancers like early 20s? I mean, and like, this is a management group, okay? Production,
They are.
group, whatever. So I'm going to guess that the person she's talking about is older, more established, and is kind of running this production group or company. Call him the CEO, whatever you want to call him. And is he not supposed to have the bigger of all the properties? I mean, he's the boss. That's how I would look at it. And I'm sorry, like, are they living together or are they not? Because first she says, well, they're given homes, but they're given not as nice homes. And then they're all living together. They're not living independently. What is it? Because to me, this is what it sounds like. I imagine when young adults move out to a place like LA to try to make a career out of dancing, there's a lot of people, a lot of whatever nefarious actors looking to prey upon them. So here, I would think, here is a group of like-minded individuals, a safe place to live, like almost not a commune, but kind of like a commune. There's protection there and a place for your own private space to live, especially if you're young 20s or whatever, and you can't afford a home like in the majority of the country, let alone LA. This would be like ideal. This would be great. I mean, he doesn't think that the production company doesn't have to provide living space.
Right. Well, and in LA, I mean, I'm obviously everybody knows I'm in California, and rent here is astronomical. You could pay $5,000 for a studio apartment in LA. So I don't know. She's like, they're not living in nice neighborhoods or whatever. But here's the thing. I mean, the only really nice neighborhoods are like Beverly Hills, and you know what I mean?
Right.
There's so much homelessness and so much crime in LA. I was shocked when I went there. Like, Hollywood is not pretty. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just so I don't know. I mean, even Trisha Paytas lived in a really nice house. There was a lot of crime. I've seen other YouTubers talk about living in their beautiful houses. There was a lot of crime. So what does that have to do with anything?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, if the area in which they're living around is that dangerous, then safety in numbers. And I mean, if I were a parent and my daughter especially, were to go out to LA to try to make a lifestyle, whatever, life career as a dancer, I would much rather she find safety in numbers. And okay, I'm not a big religious person, but I'd rather religion than over like fucking Skid Row. Okay.
Right.
mean, I don't see why this is horrible. Like, this is not a mark against this whole existence of this group. This is not something, a downfall. This is, I would look at it as a pro, not a con. I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna have
Right.
to get off. I have a doctor's appointment.
Okay, it's okay.
Thank you for letting me share.
Thank you for coming on. All right,
Bye,
I'll talk to you
y'all.
later. Bye.
They're paying rent and it's all church affiliated. So I hope that helps. I know it's complicated, but I agree that there's lots of people that are in this that are problematic, right? I believe that Daniel's problematic. I believe that Chloe's problematic. I believe Isaiah's problematic. I believe all these other people, Shirley Kim and all the other players are problematic, but they're all going up to Robert. So it's like The Godfather. The people underneath him are still committing crimes, but who's directing it? It's like Charles Manson, you know, like they all committed crimes for Charles Manson. They all killed for Charles Manson, and Charles Manson went to prison even though he didn't kill anyone. Isn't that weird, right? Charles Manson did not kill anyone. Like, he directed people to kill people. So he did kill people because he put people to kill people. But physically, his hands did not kill the people that his members did, right? But he's still responsible, and he was still a madman.
Like why are we even talking about Charles Manson in relation to this? I mean, how do you make that connection here? How is this not defamation? I don't know. It's intentional. It seems it's intentional to inflict harm. It seems.
Man, and he was still dangerous, and he was doing horrible things. So you kind of have to remember that, like, the people that are beneath him can and will commit crimes because they're getting direction from the person up here. Okay, I'm going to turn on comments, and then I have to get to work on my YouTube channel. I hope that helped. Hi, Melanie. I look gorgeous. Well, thank you.
I tell you, thank God she stopped talking about what she was talking about there to address the comment about how gorgeous she looks. Oh my God, I thought she was going to miss that for a second. Holy shit, that would have been a travesty. Now we can tell she's really serious. The fuck?
So Daniel is he's a member of his, Daniel was part of Robert's church back in the early 2000s, and he and his parents were members of the church. When the church split in 2008, his parents went with Catherine Yee's side, and Daniel stayed with Robert. And then Daniel changed his name to Joseph. And now he's just very loyal to Robert. No, he's not a Latter-day like the Moon family. No. How do I get all this assumptions? I actually am not. I'm working off court records and actual factual information. So again, I don't want to they live in just, they live in clumps. Okay. And I don't want to say who is living with who. I just want to protect them. I don't want they're all living together in a house. Like there's one specific house that has like 2 couples and a guy.
Oh my God. You mean a couple have a roommate? You know, I bet that that has something to do with human trafficking or sex slavery or something. I bet if there's 3 people living in a home and 2 of them are a couple, holy shit. That's an orgy. What is it? Oh my God, dude. I swear to God, this is crazy.
I don't have a ton of information on Reno. I did find his like some information about him, but we're still working on that. Isaiah's mom is no longer in the picture and Chloe's mom is in Canada. They have different moms. So the end goal, I think, is just to figure out the operation of what's happening and continue to uncover any sort of activities that are either illegal or, you know, in order to do an investigation on any kind of cult, you have to like put out information into the public. And that's really kind of how things start to unravel. Oh, that was another thing I wanted to bring up. People are saying like, you're not helping the dancers by ruining their sponsorships. You're helping the cult when you are helping the cult when they get sponsorships. You're helping the cult when they're going on their on their gigs, because they're not getting the money that they should be getting. And you're not taking things away from the dancers, you're taking things away from the cult. And they are part of a cult now. And unfortunately, if you want to
see, and this is it
like
right here.
House, though.
This is what's so freaking dangerous. Her objective, her goal isn't the victims, the alleged victims here, okay? The cult members would be the alleged victims. That's not her goal. Her agenda, her whole point of doing this is to destroy and ruin the cult leaders or whatever. Now, I understand that, yes, to take them down, that should be objective, but not at the cost of the victims. Okay, that's cutting off your nose to spite your face or whatever, but your nose is the victims. It's no advocate allows for the victims to pay the price of their advocacy. That's like the fundamental rule of advocacy. The victim should not pay the price for your actions, no matter what. Okay, and she doesn't care. She doesn't care. Screw the victims. And that's the thing. What she cares about isn't the victims. She just cares about destroying people who she deems unworthy, who she deems as bad, and that she must ruin them and hate on them. That's what she's getting off on. That's what she's desiring. That's what she's going after. She could care. The victims, they're just a means to an end. I mean, this is what just baffles me, that just so many people don't see.
Hype House isn't they're not controlling everything that they do and say. They're just like, the Hype House is more just idiotic. So obviously people who are dancing with them, the biggest thing, like there's twofold situations like in this situation. One is that you want to warn people about getting involved in this. You want to warn them that they might be trying to lure women into this. I can see, just based on the trajectory of how Robert operates and how he has slept with multiple people in his group, that women are going to become a high priority in terms of having access to them. So I would warn women specifically. Obviously, you would warn men, but you would want specifically for young women.
Yo, I was just kidding about the whole orgy comment I made a few minutes ago. What the fuck? Oh my God.
To know, they're going to start targeting younger and younger people because they're the most easily to manipulate. They're going to target people that don't have a good support system and are out here alone. And they're going to target people that are vulnerable. So either they are broke, they are facing a personal tragedy in their lives, or something's going on that they can exploit. If Robert is the problem, why are you dragging other dancers under him? Because the whole system is a problem. But we're not dragging the dancers. The dancers are victims. I'm not posting a ton about the dancers, but this person is such a troll, I can tell. I think that's probably Isaiah or Chloe. Okay, what I can tell you is this. There are many dance studios, agents, and dance managers that are well aware of what's going on. These people in their profession are spreading the word rapidly. So large choreographers and owners of dance studios.
What are they spreading the word about? Their competitors? The competition. They're being questioned about their competition. And the questions that she's posing to them is this organization, is this group, are they bad? Who the fuck's not going to take advantage of that and just try to, I don't know, make your competitors sound like maybe not worthy of being hired, and therefore you are. Wow.
Are letting other people know in the industry what's going on and to not work with or to not hire this group. You're obsessed with my eyebrows. Well, thank you. So unfortunately, when you involve yourself in a group like this and your boss is doing criminal activity, you are in a group that's indirectly doing bad things. That doesn't mean that you're part of those bad things. You can still be a victim, 100%.
But that was definitely a veiled warning. That was her saying, you're probably not a victim, but if you don't smarten up and get the fuck out, then you could be just as guilty. Like that's what I hear.
Lynn says she's doing that now with managers and agents and studios. I think, asking them and harassing them on whether or not they're in a cult isn't going to help the situation. So we're really just starting this investigation, and we're just working on those details in terms of like, if things have been found that are illegal, that's not up for me to decide. Law enforcement would have to make those determinations. So all I can do is keep investigating. And obviously anything that we do find, if it is illegal, we'll turn over to the federal government or to the local authorities. I'm not going to say which dancers and what choreographers that I've spoken to. I just want to be clear that for some of these people, it's extremely dangerous because this group has a lot to lose. And so we just have to be very careful. In regard to like things that you find online, I'm getting a lot of duplicates. At this point, most of what can be found online, I've found. And right now, what we're working through are legal records and doing like looking at the properties. So that's like where we're at. We're doing deeper dives than just what you do on a Google, because that only tells you half the story. I have a group that I'm working with. Yes, there's a group. So we have lots of help. There's lawyers and there's agents that are a part of it. There's security that's a part of it. There's lots of people that are a part of it. So I have not received threats at this point. Obviously, you have already seen all of the bad posts that are made by people in the group.
Okay,
That's
so
going
like
to continue.
as you just saw, I got a phone call there and I missed it, the past like minute or two of what she was talking about. How did this get on her now? Now we're talking about how she's a part of all this, how she's the victim. Gee, what do you know? Go figure. When you go out of your way to do shitty things to people for no reason, people may have a response to it.
They'll probably start digging up my personal life and say that I'm a bad mom, or I have this, or I have that. I said this in the past. I said that in the past. That's just standard. I'm not in Los Angeles, so I'm probably the least one to be not at risk right now.
Oh, she thinks she's safe because she's in Minnesota. Is that it? I mean,
we have a lot of people involved. I'm not going to say
not that she's at risk or anything, or that she should be, but I don't think proximity I don't think I wouldn't trust my safety on simple proximity. Like if I was that, if there were threats being made, I would think people could get to me wherever I am. I mean, that just seems like a stupid thing to just fall safe on.
who's involved. I'm also MLM Mombi. We have spoken to people that deal with cults. We've spoken to former members of cults. We have a lot of resources right now.
No. I believe me, I get the desire to, see how you like it sort of thing, Brianna, but no. Don't anyone ever put Katie's address out anywhere. Do this what she wants. Like seriously, I believe that's what she wants. Don't give her what she wants. Don't do it. If for no other reason, don't do it for that reason. Okay? Like for real. Because she feeds off of that. That just feeds right into her whole victimhood status. Like just please don't. Oh no, Brand, I'm not giving you shit, Brand. Like I said, I understand the desire to, see how you like it, sort of, what's good for the goose sort of thing. I get it. I'm afraid that somebody else might see the comment and then just go from there if I don't say something. That's why I say what I say.
When it comes to Lydia, I'm not going to say yes or no because I'm not going to put anyone at risk. But everything that we can do, we're going to do. I'm not going to say who we're working with or who we're talking to because I don't want them to be at risk either. So we're going to be a little bit more careful in like what we say and what we do, but it is not just me anymore. Yeah, she deleted her profile yesterday. MLM Mombi. Oh, you do the MLM stuff. Yes. Yeah. I mean, this is kind of like a cult like MLM, but a little bit more dangerous.
Wow. Is it just me, or was that like a shot that she took at the MLM whatever person? Like, oh yeah, you're the one who covers the MLMs. Yeah, this is kind of like that, but more dangerous. Like, you're amateur. What? Oh God.
I have a team now. So you're welcome to send me anything that you have.
That's the thing. This team, okay, not that I ever expect anyone to ever hear my live stream here, but if by some chance you're a team member and you're hearing this, dude, you're going to be the scapegoat. You are going to be the patsy, however you want to word it. You are going to be the one who is going to get blamed, thrown under the bus, taking the brunt, whatever, for whatever litigation she has coming her way in the future, if you're on her team and you're doing her shit for her. And I'm not going to sit here and say you deserve it or you don't deserve it. I don't know. That's not my call. But it's not like you can't learn about her ahead of time. It's not like the truth about Katie Joy and what she does is hidden from the world. Like, I mean, at some point in time, there is some sort of personal responsibility that has to be factored in. And if you are working on her team and you're doing her bidding for her, one has to wonder if you are just like a social media masochist or something. I don't know. I'm just saying. But just keep in mind that, it's not a matter of when, or it's not a matter of if, it is a matter of when.
Had lots of journalists and tons of production companies reach out to me. So most of these people are finding me.
Renelle, you can send it to the EKC People Suck one. That's the one I'm on right now. I pulled up your video and I scrolled through to the end. I'm not sure if I got the right document or whatever being discussed. So, yeah, please send it to me just so I can, be sure it's the correct thing or whatever. Thank you. Thank you for becoming a member, the Dark Magician. Welcome. Wait, we're getting to the end of this, aren't we? That's the next one.
I did not see her live.
Wait, what?
Cults are very dangerous, but yes, we have a lot of people helping and we have security. So I'm not working on this alone. Oh, and Heather from the Juicy Scoop, you guys heard, did you guys hear her? Did you listen to her podcast? I absolutely love her. She's actually a comedian, but now she does a podcast and she talks about like what's going on the internet and with celebrity stuff. So yeah, I talked to her last week. I knew she was going to be talking about me.
I just want to add, someone said in the chat here earlier that Backwoods Barbie reached out to Heather McDonald here and sent her clips and information and stuff about Katie. So upon hearing this, wait a couple of days before you all start bombarding Heather McDonald too, because I imagine anyone in Heather McDonald's shoes probably gets overwhelmed in this situation. I mean, I know a lot of y'all and I hear you. Just maybe wait a day or two so we don't overwhelm her.
So it was awesome to hear her give this information out there. Well, yeah, Young Living's class action lawsuit says that they're a cult-like organization, right? Yeah, I didn't think that Miranda was with her parents. Melanie's with her parents. Maybe that's what they're saying. Heather McDonald, yes, from the Juicy Scoop. She's so nice. Who is at risk? You just have to be careful. I haven't been paying attention to what Miranda's been doing and not doing, because right now I've been doing my research on the shins.
So is it this video where she learned of Miranda's trip to Michigan, or is it the next one? Because I'm running a little low on time here. There's a couple of things I want to get to.
And then other thing is people were saying, well, let them just live their lives. They're doing what they want to be doing. So these kinds of groups operate in a world where you don't respond to what you see. Ignore it and let people live their lives.
This one at the end. Okay, thank you.
Unfortunately, we also live in a society where we live and let live, and we ignore the warning signs and the red flag. Yeah, silence doesn't help victims.
Is that her dog in the background? What the?
I think you guys are confusing Melanie and Miranda. I don't think Miranda's with her parents. Are you thinking of Melanie?
I think I'd fire my team after this shit.
It was Miranda with her parents. I'll have to find out about that. Kelly, if you can find, or if any of you have the copy of that video, if you have a copy of that video, send it to me.
Because if she doesn't have a copy, it can't be because it's on Instagram.
And I'll take a look. All right, you guys, bye.
Oh, she was so mad there at the end. Oh my God. Oh, that was, am I muted? Okay, no, that was hilarious. Oh my God. I think I'd totally fire my team after that shit. Good thing she's got a team. It really shows. I have no idea, Brianna, if the parents got contact. I thought only like Melanie had contact with Katie Joy, but last I heard, I remember reading somewhere in post or comments where even Katie had said that she hadn't spoken to Melanie in a little time. But from what I understand, Melanie did just kind of stop talking to her. I think Katie gave an excuse, like they're trying to work on things, whatever. So she can't really speak out or whatever at the moment, so that sort of thing. But when in actuality, it's probably just because Melanie thought, shit, she's not going to help my cause here. She's only going to hurt it. So, let's see here. Okay, so it was sent. Oh, okay. Slayer Utica.
Thing that the person who's.
Why was that making noise? Okay. Okay, yeah, that is the thing I pulled up. Who was this? Who was the statement from, though? I'm curious. Because like there's someone who I've talked to periodically in DMs. I won't say who because they do important work. Who has expressed much of the same exact concerns to me, like almost verbatim. And I'm just kind of curious if maybe. I mean, I would never reveal who it is or anything like that. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just kind of curious if maybe that's who wrote it. In which case, I'm bringing this up to say, I think it's credible. I would definitely, I would accept this as fact. I mean, or the closest thing to it anyway. So, all right, I want to play the video that I was just sent of, how, of McDonald. Okay, I'm sorry. I can't think. How can I hide my, shit. No, I don't want details. Get bigger. Oh, for fuck's sake. How do I make this big screen? Shit, I don't know how to. Oh fuck. I'm sorry. I don't want to pull up my DMs because then it's going to show everyone, the list of people there on the left who are in my DMs. So I don't want to. Oh wait, Heather. Tina sent it to me. I can play it from there. But thank you, Maya, though, for sending me this. Thank you. I'm going to play Tina so no one can see my list of people in my DMs because that would be kind of asshole of me. So, and I do that enough on accident. I don't need to do it on purpose. So, what, Facebook? Yes. Okay. So this is a clip of Heather McDonald talking about Katie on her podcast, The Juicy Scoop.
Things that the put out there, because I think it's one of these things that the person who's hiring them to do this stuff, they don't want to know about this. They know the number to call. Hi, 7M, can you bring 12 dancers to do this Corolla commercial?
Yeah.
Okay, my job is done. They don't want to know that these kids might not be getting their money. They don't want to know that these kids are trapped in something.
Oh my
Nobody
God.
wants to complicate their simple job.
Right.
But I want to just get people talking. Without a crystal ball is doing her job, but
You're doing your job
she's
too.
She's getting shut down too. And I just want to investigate it. If everybody's fine, and if, but like, just look into it, because I could see why someone who's an artist is so happy to be doing their art and so happy to be making any money at all.
Not enough.
And
that
so
you cut
happy
off.
to
There's
be with
no
their friends.
reason for you to be cutting off your family. These people are saying call your
Get out there, because I think it's one of these.
So here's the thing that I take away from this. I get what she's saying. Just investigate it. I get what she's saying. Sadly, though, because I don't expect her to be familiar with Katie. I don't expect her to have shut this down just because it's from Katie Joy. Why would she? How would she know? I understand that. So I do give some, understanding there. However, I would I can't help it. I would question anything that her podcast reported in the future, because knowing what I know, it's apparent to me that they don't do like even the smallest amount of research on things or people, because even the smallest amount of research on Katie and her as a reporter, or her in relation with her relationships with her sources, alleged sources, would tell them that just like they're saying the person who's booking dancers, that they don't want to complicate their job. Anyone who had to verify information for any kind of news source or podcast, upon looking into Katie Joy, would think, I don't want to complicate my joy or my job or whatever, and have to deal with this fucking crazy broad. That's what would happen. So it's apparent to me that the person or people in charge of verifying information, or even just establishing that the information is not fucking crazy, their job isn't even complicated enough to realize they don't want to complicate it more. That's what it tells me. And I hate to say that, I really do, because I don't know. This actress looks familiar, or this comedian looks familiar. I do think I've seen her in things. So, and I have no qualms about, I don't know anything about her, and I look at her face and I had pleasant memories, so I must have enjoyed whatever it was I seen her. I don't like to say these things about anyone, let alone someone who I might seemingly like. You know, it sucks. It sucks that Katie can actually affect somebody else's podcast by being Katie. I mean, it's crazy. So yeah, that's my take on it. Now, let me, I already have it up in here, don't I? No, I don't. Okay. Let me send this to myself. Okay, I'm going to read this document that Renelle sent me, and then I think I'm going to wrap it up because it's 4:18 and I do have to leave here by 4:30. So. Send airdrop now. Trying to drop. What the? Thank you. How am I watching? Okay. So this is what Renelle sent me. Thank you, by the way, Renelle, for sending this to me. And you can find this at the end of her most recent video. I will put the link in the description. I may not do it before 4:30. I apologize if I don't, but I will definitely try and do it in a second. So this is what can be found. And it looks like, I'm going to say this was posted in the subreddit because I see the Katie call out. I know that's one of the flares in the subreddit. So here it says, please find your statement regarding Catherine without a crystal ball, continued misinformation and dangerous commentary on many of our communities. We only ask for responsibility with sharing. Thank you. To which the statement says, we crafted this statement to address Catherine from Without a Crystal Ball and to implore you to reconsider how you have covered some communities and the members of. Recently, you made the statement that you, quote, will be reconsidering how you covered things, unquote. We beg of you to consider with that our cloistered communities, especially. Many of the members are vulnerable people in dire need of social services. Your actions, however, have impacted our abilities to provide services, advocacy, and outreach. We become aware that families have been contacted and questioned for information for a few years, which has spread fear. Continued fear that mocking or unauthorized stories and misinformation will be publicly relayed carelessly. You may be unaware, but works like yours can be used as propaganda by some to instill fear in their members. Some lifelines have gone dark. We must be responsible when discussing these communities, and remember, these are often vulnerable people deserving of dignity and compassion, not to be shamed, mocked, or lied about. Many don't even have a voice to respond to your stories. Some of us have worked within these communities for years and care about the people. It's taken years to build trust and gain entry to provide much needed social services. We also have the appropriate education and understanding held to rigorous standards to best serve cloistered communities. More importantly, how to safely speak on them when called upon. We have been proactive in directly assisting to improve their own communities and lives from within. Sometimes it's by building health centers and schools, and other times that means helping those who want to leave do so safely and enter mainstream society with support. You claim to care and want better for these communities, yet your actions and mocking say otherwise. We have never called for your cancellation. We only ask for you to do better. Be more responsible with your platforms and compassionate. You may not care about these communities and see them as a way to get views and earn a living, but we do care. We've done the works. We hope you hear our plea and take to heart that these are people and families that deserve dignity and our compassion. Consider that your words can have reaching consequences. We do look forward to your improvements as you move forward. Thank you. Wow. Imagine if you were the person that was being directed towards. Imagine how that would make you feel. Oh my God. Like, I would feel like the biggest pile of shit in the world. Like that. How you can't ignore that, I would think. Jesus. But show it away. Okay, so I also just got a message here. It's share. Okay to share. Okay. I know. Just 1 minute. 1 minute. So okay to share. I got a message from an anonymous source that says, my kid is in the dance world. Katie is really wrong for what she's doing to all these dancers. The ones talking to her that she outs will never work again. They won't make auditors. Well, they won't make auditions once the word gets out. The dance world is fickle. Those kids are commercial dancers, and they audition. I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Oh, wait, I got it right here though. And they audition and can get turned down for many reasons. Honestly, no one is going to hire you knowing that you rat on your friends and go to gossip rags. No one wants that sort of press. To put the dance world in perspective, I know this girl who is an amazing dancer, amazing, wins every goddamn title in competition. She can't get booked to save her life, though. My kid gets booked before her, and to be honest, she's 10 times better than my kid. The girl doesn't get booked because she's known for trash talking. The damn dance world is small and word travels. My kid gets booked because she's known for doing the choreography as taught, being a professional, and going home. I can't verify who sent this. I can't verify any of the information on it. And I can verify who sent it to me. That's it. But I mean, it's definitely something to consider as being true. That's all I'm going to say. I would be really interested, though. I would be very curious, though, to hear more about it. I would love to hear from people who are actually in the author of this post, in their shoes. And I would like them to just talk more about their experience with the dance world. So I have to go, though. It's 4:24. I have to get going. I'm getting yelled at now, and my daughter's going to yell at me if I'm late. So thank you all for being here. And I don't know. I'll be back late. I'll be back around later. So. Bye. Where's my outro? Bye.